Welcome to the 43rd episode of the Mayor's Mixtape. I'm Haley Sue Robinson, Director of Public Affairs for the City of Pueblo.
I'm Heather Graham, City of Pueblo Mayor.
And I'm Ted Hernandez, City Council-elect District 3.
And it's exciting to have a guest on the podcast this morning. Council-elect Hernandez, it's great to have you. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. I'd like to remind our listener that you can find us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch on local channel 17. And there's lots of opportunities to like, share, subscribe. And don't forget, if you have questions or topic suggestion for Mayor Graham to cover, you can email us at mayor@pueblo.us. So, Council-elect Hernandez, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
You're my first city councilor I've had.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like
First
ever?
time.
In 43
ever.
episodes?
In 43 episodes, yeah.
Yeah.
Honored. Thank you.
Yeah, this is exciting. So, you are going to be sworn in on Monday, January 12th.
Yes.
But we just thought we would maybe give the listeners an opportunity to get to know you a little bit. So tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose to represent District 3.
So I'll be 64 at the end of this month. I'm a retired businessman. I still own the company, but the boys run it.
Okay.
I have 4 boys, and they are just doing a knockdown, drag-out job of running the company over the last year. Last year was kind of my stepping away, and I stepped away more and more, and so they're doing a great job. Worked 42 years for the same company, my company. I've been an owner for 30 of the 42 years that I worked there. Built a statewide company from very, very meager beginnings. We had, I think, an operating budget of $200,000 when I started, and now we operate all around the state of Colorado. We're the largest private service provider in the state of Colorado. And so it was nice to be able to build, but it felt really much better to walk away where it was and still get paid, which is kind of nice.
That's rewarding.
Yeah. I decided to run for city council. I've been thinking about it for probably the last year and a half. Mm-hmm. For me, it really came to a point where a kid that I coached at Roncalli, a police officer who was shot. And so I talked to some of my friends on the police department, and they said, well, when are you going to step forward? Because, we need people with kind of a business acumen. And I think that having a business acumen
makes a difference.
It really does make a difference. Now, it doesn't solve every issue because government is not really business, but it is helpful. And I thought, well, now's a good time. I had pretty good name recognition on the South Side, coaching there for 30 years, so I felt really comfortable. So yeah, that's the reason why. I think I can make a difference on city council, which will in turn make a difference with the city. So
That's great. And, during your campaign, it was Coach Ted. So what did you coach?
Coach football.
Yeah.
I've coached football, coached at Roncalli for 10 years.
Okay.
And then I moved on and coached at South High School. 13th year. I just finished my 13th year at South High. And I'll keep coaching.
I was just going to ask, you're going to keep coaching.
Yeah. Mentoring young men and women is a very important aspect of my life. When you raise 4 boys, and the interesting thing about my 4 boys is that they will tell you that they shared me with every kid I ever coached. And maybe sometimes more than I should have, but I think reaching young men, especially in Pueblo, with our social economic makeup, it's very, very important.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'll keep going.
Okay, great. Mayor Graham, you first started your political career as a city councilor. Do you have any advice for Council-elect Hernandez as he's coming in?
Please.
I grow tough skin. I don't know, if you're passionate about something, figure out how to get it done. I think there's always, if there's a will, there's a way. If you want something changed, you're now in the seat of the city to do so. So I would just say, push forward. If you feel it's right, it's right. No matter what people on the outside say. You were elected, and I think people share your vision. And they want to see what you're going to bring to this community.
Thank you.
That's great advice.
I think
that's great advice for anyone in government.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so you'll be sworn in on Monday. Are there any like first priorities you have maybe in your first like 90 days or your first year?
So I think that what's important for me is the condition of the South Side. I've talked about it in my campaign. Really, really dissatisfied with the way District 60 is managing South High School. So that's going to be one of the things that I go after almost immediately, talking to the school board and the superintendent, asking, what are you really going to do for South High School?
Sure.
Because for me, if imagine the South Side without a high school, and you can imagine the economic depression that would happen. It already has happened. So I think that's important that for our community, for the South Side community, that we have a thriving, educating high school. And of course that moves down to middle school and elementary schools as well. But that's one of the important things. That's one of the things that are most important to me on the South Side.
Sure.
The city as a whole, I think we need to kind of really follow what the mayor has put forward with regards to economic development. It's important that we have jobs in our community. If we don't have, we don't have a tax base that we can rely on as much as we need, as the city does right now. So to be able to build the economy and build businesses and build jobs for people, then we can increase our tax base. Which will in turn allow us to do a lot more things with the city than we're capable of doing right now. So important.
What's the enrollment right now at South? I mean, like
722.
That's crazy.
No way.
When I graduated high school, I think there was 500 in my graduating class, and to see
722 is what it is right now.
And that's for the whole school.
That's for the whole school.
That's insanity.
Yeah,
it's sad.
It's very
South
sad.
used to be. That's where the athletes would all transfer to go because we were a division.
Right, we're 4A.
4A.
School, yeah.
So everybody wanted to come to South to play the sports and
South too. To this day, they're still one of the top winners of the Knowledge Bowl. So we still have students who are very, very intelligent. We just don't have a whole lot of them anymore. So
I think I was an athlete, but I was a golfer, so a little bit different athlete. Well, you all, South won a state title actually when I was in high school for golf, but also really good at speech and debate. To your point, Knowledge Bowl, I think it's just kind of surprising to see enrollment so low at a school that at one point it was kind of like the premier school, and to your point, folks were moving across town or at least commuting across town to go to South. So I think that's a great priority, and good to see those partnerships kind of come together. I think that's another piece that Mayor, that's been a big priority of yours, is how do we
we don't really have those partnerships now. I mean, the government runs in a silo with the education system. So I'm glad to hear that you'll be working.
Well, and I feel like a lot of Pueblo runs in silos.
Totally.
We have the nonprofit silos, we have city government silos, we have the education silos. We also have the Chamber of Commerce kind of silos as well. So one of the things that I'd like to see that we do is that we kind of form some type of collaboration, which is my favorite word.
Yeah.
You heard it a lot during the campaign, of figuring out how to work together so that we could all together, we're not reinventing the wheel or doing the same thing in different places all the time, so we can kind of move everybody in the same direction at the same time, which I think would be beneficial for Pueblo.
Well, and if you think about, to your point earlier about our tax base and increasing revenue, we can do that if we all work together.
Sure,
with those partnerships and that collaboration. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those partnerships come together and maybe how we do something differently than we have previously in order to bring back that thriving Southside community.
Right.
Yeah, that's fantastic. You also have been attending city council meetings regularly in person before you announced your campaign, and then since you won in November. Anything in particular that you see that's exciting or maybe daunting even at meetings?
The reason I started going before I announced it, because that was kind of I wanted to see the dynamics of city council and how I would fit in. Excuse me. One of the first things I noticed is there's lots of moments where city council is working really well with the mayor, but there are also some moments where you got the clown show, kind of clown car show reputation that I think is detrimental in more than one area for the city. People looking in see it, and I've heard many times, well, that's Pueblo, and it really bothers me because I've lived in Pueblo my whole life, and that's not Pueblo. Pueblo is so much more than that, so much more than what people see. Pueblo, I travel a little bit, and I'm one of those people that holds the doors open for people and say good morning, and people freak out when they see that, and so that's just kind of the way I was raised, and it's kind of my town. It's kind of the way we act here, and we all know each other, and so but I kind of saw a little bit of the bad side of city council too, and I feel like that was kind of all right, I've got to do this, because I think that it's important that the outside world and the citizens of Pueblo see a government that's working in their best interest and working for them in a manner that is professional.
Sure.
And so it's not a criticism of any individual. I think it's a criticism of what it has become.
Sure.
And so I think that for me, it's very, very important that those things kind of change. We should not be more popular than Monday Night Football.
Oh my gosh! Speaking,
I
I had a friend text me last night and say, "No city council tonight," and I said, "No, new council's not sworn until the 12th." And she said, "Well, no council and no Monday Night Football. What am I going to do?" I'm
exactly.
like, how do you even compare those two things?
Yeah. So I mean, when city council meetings, and they should be boring, put people to sleep, get business done. Meetings, when they become a highlight for the citizenry, it's not a good thing. Not necessarily a good thing.
Well, I mean, they can be a highlight when we're celebrating the wins and we're passing good ordinances, and we're listening to our citizens, and they feel informed and excited about the progress we're making. But I think, Mayor, you've talked a lot about this. Pueblo's reputation is something that's important to you, and how we talk about ourselves is important to you. And so to your point, Council-elect Hernandez, I think that's something that we can all work on, whether we're an elected official like either one of you, or a city employee like myself, or the general public. That's one thing that here in Pueblo, many times we don't do very well, is speak highly of ourselves and expect good things of Pueblo because we can.
Yeah, I saw, speaking about good things in Pueblo, I saw yesterday that we made the top.
Oh, yes.
It was like, what was it?
Top 10.
Top 10 amazing places for new museums coming like worldwide.
This was
here
global.
Yeah, Pueblo. Little Pueblo on the map for the Da Vinci Museum coming to town. And so it makes me so proud to see those types of clips, scrolling across Facebook or social media, and you see like something good about Pueblo. And so that was pretty awesome yesterday. I said, no way, let me scroll and see what they're talking about. And sure enough, there it was.
Yeah.
I think that's the value of working together.
Yeah.
Working across party lines. I don't think there really are locally many party lines.
There's party lines.
The mayor will tell you there's
Let me tell you about the party lines.
I know there's party lines on a national level, even on the state level, but locally, there shouldn't be.
Sure.
The only line there should be is the line that you cross to advance the city.
Yeah, sure. I tell people all the time, like when I come into office in the morning, I don't make decisions based on my political party.
Correct.
Because those decisions rarely ever cross being political. It's just about what's best for the community overall. It doesn't matter what your affiliation is when you come to make this decision. It's just what's good for the vast majority of our community. And it can be interesting sometimes.
I think the difficult part, I would believe, about being mayor, and you and I have talked about this, is being able to really share your successes to the masses and not just the people who are on Facebook, or the people who get to see you or come to see you or get to hear what's going on with city government. That has to be super frustrating to not be able to really share your successes and the successes of the city on a scale that, because I hadn't heard that at all about the top 10 for museums.
Yeah.
And so those are the things. But I'm not really on Facebook.
Yeah.
You get on Facebook when you run because you have to.
Right.
And then you get off because you want to.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's got to be difficult in your position to be able to share those things so people can really understand the advancing of Pueblo that you're.
Yeah, we try to hide. I mean, we'll be pushing that out all over today, right? When the powers that be wanted to come and say, Pueblo was one of the top 10 most crime-ridden cities. I said, no, we're not going to do this. We're going to fight back on this because that's not what Pueblo is. And sometimes you have to change the narrative or paint the picture or make sure that the citizens are getting the entire scope of what's going on in the community, because that doesn't happen. I mean, first thing I do when I get up in the morning is I look at the Chieftain app, see what's on the news, see what's going on. And unfortunately, because the Chieftain is so small now, a lot of times it misses all the good things that are happening in the community, and we just really get highlighted for the bad things. So I think it's important as the government, whether it's the government's role or not, to share and to promote and to talk about all the good things going on in the community.
I think that I've lived in Pueblo since 1962, and I've been a victim of crime one time in my entire time living in this town. Somebody broke into my car when I lived on the south side and rummaged it, but that was the only time I've ever been a victim of crime. And so when I hear people talk about, and I didn't grow up on the best sides of town for a very, very long time. So I know that there's crime out there, but I think that we always highlight the bad and never highlight the good enough. So when you're top 10 in crime perspective, when people believe that, you don't take into account that not every city even reports.
True.
So
or the same way.
Or the same way, exactly.
And that was a big reason why when that information came out, we talked about how we report our crime stats, the way other communities report their crime stats. But then we really dug into that article and noticed that Monroe, Louisiana, they were the number 9 right ahead of us. And they had no crime stats reported for 2025 when that article came out. And so we were confused. How could they be number 9 on the list, let alone, we want to push back on the narrative of Pueblo being number 10.
Right.
But how are they even number 9? And so then you kind of push the credibility of the list that's out there and realize that the data is not the same. And, that's also a big reason why we started this podcast was the ability to sit down, have conversations that are a little more tangible and in depth than a city council meeting and longer than a 30-second soundbite on the news or a quote in print in the paper. And so talking to folks about what the city does, what the mayor's accomplished is important, and we have to get creative and be persistent so that folks understand what is happening in our community so they can be proud. It's not just telling folks, no, that's not true, and then leave it at that. It's like, this is why it's not true. Yeah. Let's help you understand it.
Right. Pueblo's small enough and big enough to have, for where naysayers have a very big microphone, but not big enough for them to be drowned out by the silent majority saying, wait a minute, I don't see the same thing you're seeing. So it's the problem of the size of town we are, I think.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to you being sworn in on Monday. We're looking forward to seeing what you can accomplish as a city councilor and how you'll work together with your fellow councilors and work together with Mayor Graham and how you're going to serve District 3.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Great. Well, we have a couple of upcoming events to remind our listener about. West Side Improvement Public Meeting was originally scheduled in December. It's been rescheduled for this Thursday, January 8th. The meeting is from 5 to 7:30 at Fire Station number 11. If you can't make it in person, you can join us on the city's Facebook page for a live stream and find out about the bus stop improvements and the roundabouts at Sun Mountain Boulevard. Lots to find out there. Additionally, we'll have the swearing in for newly elected city councilors on Monday, January 12th, and that will start before the regular meeting at 7 o'clock. And then we also have an incoming city council and outgoing city council member reception on Tuesday, January 20th, here at City Hall in the pre-function room of Memorial Hall, and that is from 5:30 to 7:30. You can come meet the new city councilors, thank our outgoing city councilors for their time served in Pueblo, and so we're excited for that. Anything else we need to know, Mayor?
I don't think so.
It's busy in the office, but not as many events yet. I feel like it's towards the end of the month.
Yeah, it's only the first week of January. So we're planning and making our checklist for the year in the office, and I'm excited for the new city council to be sworn in so we can get to work. No work happens without city council, right? So when we don't have meetings or there's no approvals being made, it's like, okay, let's wait till the next meeting. So I'm excited to
get back to work.
To get back to work and get the ball rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to remind our listener, you can email us with your questions or topic suggestions, mayor@pueblo.us. And you can find the Mayor's Mixtape on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Buzzsprout, wherever you get your podcasts. You can also watch us on Channel 17. And please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And we will see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.